Hi, good day everybody. Welcome to Ask JC episode 5. So Ask JC, just to recap, is a Q&A channel that allows you to ask anything on topics from feng shui, folklore, superstition, 八字易经, face reading to horoscopes and astrology. So on a regular basis, we, especially myself, Joe, will reply some questions from what you have asked via the Google form and answer them via a video. Of course, later on I will provide you with the link to basically ask your question. All right. So let's begin with question 1. Altogether, we have 5 questions as per normal. So we actually selected 5 so-called very interesting questions from the questioners and then answer them via this short little video format. All right. So question 1. Is there any implications if we scatter our parents' ashes into the sea? If I can recall, about maybe a month ago, the local newspaper has done up actually a report about this. And in fact, I think the government is looking at, catering a part of the so-called Singapore island or sea for this exercise to be carried out. But the main question is there any implications? I believe it's more about implications on the fortune, okay, the feng shui of the descendants. All right. So from my feng shui point of view and my personal experience, we will prefer the remains. Remains means could be the bones and the bodies or ashes of the deceased to be buried in the earth. Chinese, we say 入土为安. That's what we believe. Okay? Or another word they call it 落叶归根, we believe, our ancestor believe, especially Chinese, that we have to have a base. Okay? So when our ancestors' body or ashes in the urn comes into contact with the earth, coupled with a good, proper feng shui setup, meaning you found a very good landform that has good mountain, good river flow, and you manage to find out where is the dragon spot, you bury inside it, you can actually create a very positive influence on the luck of the children and descendants. Okay? Because we are making use of the Mother Earth. In Chinese, we say we are making use of the Di Ling to create blessings for the children or the grandchildren of the deceased. Nevertheless, for ashes that are scattered into ocean, we believe that the descendants of the person will likely to leave the hometown to seek livelihood. They will also be like scattered around the world since the ashes, okay, is actually carried away by the sea and the waves, So this implies that the descendant may not be able to stay close together in future. So most of them will be like in different countries sometime to seek, maybe to find job and even to migrate there. All right, so they will not remain at their hometown. So this is my belief. Okay, and still we believe that if you could find a good burial spot and bury into the earth, okay, that is the best. Question 2. Recently somebody asked me, Mr. Tan says that it is bad to see water tank on building rooftop because it implies one having to take long-term medication. Is it true? So looking at this picture, you see this is a typical Singapore HDB public housing flat. So normally they will locate the so-called water tank on the rooftop like this. So if you are staying in this house, okay, which the photo is taken from, then it is so-called rumored that the occupants inside this unit will have to, take long-term medicine. Okay? Is this true or not true? Let's take a look. Yes, in feng shui, water tank is known as medicine bottle shark. In Chinese, I mean that's a loose translation. In Chinese, it is known as 药罐shark because basically the shape of the water tank looks like the bottle that where you drink your medicine from. Okay, so if you are directly facing it, okay, especially if the water tank is at your eye level, it will give rise to chronic health issue, and one needs to take medication for as long as they stay there. However, one good news is that if the water tank is covered up like this, as shown in the picture here, then it is okay. But if it's exposed like this, okay, this top right hand corner, this picture here where the lady is standing on top, okay, then it is not okay because it is exposed. And if you see this, you are going to really suffer from poor health. Okay. Next, question 3. Master, should I be concerned about the corners and edges of my shelves, table, wardrobe? Because they have edges, right? So they are pointing at me, especially when I'm sleeping. Do they create 煞气? You see, all of us are actually staying in such an environment. We really cannot do away with shelves, closets, especially in this very tight space. Especially when the housings are getting smaller. We need to have a lot of storage space. So does this cause 煞气? Of course. The answer is, a very straightforward answer is, keep calm and have no worries. Alright? So all this thing will not produce 煞气. But if you're talking about beams coming from the roof, okay, and you're sleeping under the beams, then of course that will create 煞气because it carries the structural weight of the entire building. You know, the structure is actually emitting this invisible force on you. So if you sleep under the beam, that's really not so good for your health. You can get migraine or body aches. Okay. Other than that, shelves, wardrobes, tables, furnitures, no issue at all. Question 4. Should we take, this is a bit technical, should we take car garage in front of our house as internal part of the building when we plot flying star chart? Okay, the garage has full walls on both sides. Okay, this picture is not from this person, Yu Xun, okay. Let me see. Gate from iron wire that can see through the streets, and roof majority made of glass for sunlight to shine in. Thank you. Okay, so based on my experience, because I teach flying star, okay, how do you define whether you need to plot and superimpose your flying star chart, okay, onto the garage or not? Okay, what is constituted as so-called compartment? All right. So I think it's easier if you look at the picture. So, looking at this picture here, this is the garage door, and this is the garage. All right, where you park your car. Okay, and because there are 4 walls, is actually like a little house. There's a compartment there where you lower down your roller shutter. Your roller shutter is not see-through type. You, of course, have to consider this as part of your flying star calculation. It is part of the internal building. What about this? You see, this one is actually, of course, part of this. There's no wall. Okay, it is just like a little shelter, pavilion concept. So, of course, this one cannot be regarded as part of the internal building. So I hope this picture can help to answer your doubts. Alright, so recap. You only plot your flying star chart and superimpose on this solid building on the left, the house. You do not need to consider this thing, because this thing, to me, I mean, from my teaching, our school, our experience, this thing is not part of the internal building. Okay, Okay, let's go to the last question. I actually received an email that says that I came across a Facebook posting on that renovation on certain sector of a block will trigger some negative effects. We underwent toilet renovation under HDB Home Improvement Program on this specific date, 2nd January 2018. I'm concerned if those sectors are being triggered. So basically, you know, for those people staying in public housing, all right, every few years, the government, they will want to improve so-called the living condition. And sometimes either they add on toilets, they renovate the toilet for you, for the whole block, or they could also add the lift, additional lift for you, or sometimes additional utility room for you. So because they, you know, they have their schedule, they may actually activate and start their work on certain timing that could trigger, okay, negative energy like this. Next page. It may accidentally violate, you know, for those that study feng shui, this thing called three killings, the 三煞, 5 yellow, the 五黄, 太岁. There's a saying, of course, don't 不要在太岁头上动土啦, don't touch the 太岁, okay, head, all right. So, and certain years, based on the feng shui formula and calculation, the three killings, say this year, for example, 2018 寅午戌 year, is a fire frame. So the 三煞 location is actually in the north sector. So in case your house is sitting north, facing south, this year, you go and do any major renovation like this, or your whole block is facing south, sitting north, you carry out upgrading job, then you are really going to be affected by 三煞. Okay, so likewise, you also calculate where is the 5 yellow position this year. You also calculate where is the 太岁 position this year. And if your house falls under so-called the effect, okay, falls under the impact of all this annual affliction, then you will really get involved, like things like accident, fall sick, loss of money, legal problem, robbery. Well, either you can have everything at one go. That is based on experience. There are clients that after violating the 三煞, he actually got into all this trouble, fall sick, lose money, accident. All right, but some of you might be luckier. Okay, you just get one or two of those that I mentioned. Okay, so this is really very, very important. But unfortunately, we could not do anything much unless we tell the government to stop the job. If you know, if you notice that, hey, it is coming in to disturb you. But if your house is facing otherwise, other directions this year, 2018, then there's no issue of violating three killings. Okay, but 5 yellow and 太岁, you have to check again. Okay, because it is too technical, I will just so-called end here. All right, I'm not going to elaborate too much. Okay, so just to take a look at this picture, this page, this is actually very common, especially in old houses. Say if you're staying in Toa Payoh, you might have already experienced this. They add on an extra utility room at the back. So my concern here is that, of course, during the construction phase, it is very dusty, noisy, probably violated some of the feng shui energy in your house. Okay, not only that, there's this unintended consequence. What happened is that the flat originally was a very nice, regular, rectangular shape. Then now, with this additional space here, okay, which is quite small actually, all right, you have this protruded sector, and we don't like this kind of protrusion. Okay, it's either bad for health, because over here protruded means that somewhere there must have some missing sector. All right, otherwise protrusion can mean, in terms of 5 elements, certain direction has excessive energy. Say for example, if this is actually metal sector, then metal qi is excessive, then it will actually control or attack the wood qi. Okay, so this is not so good. It can be detrimental to the occupant's health. All right, so this is the unintended consequence here. Okay, so well, I have finished my 5 questions. Hope you find it beneficial. If you have any questions, all right, if you're interested, please go to this link. And of course, I'm going to copy and paste this link into the YouTube comment box, or I will also put this into my Facebook page. We welcome you to also email us, academy@destinyasia.com.sg. All right. Anything that is not too technical, anything that you think that you need to seek clarification, whether it is a myth or it is something really a hard truth, I will try to answer you accordingly based on my experience. Visit us at masterfengshui.com. All right, or come to my Facebook page, Master Zhou Ching. Search for this. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this. Have a great day ahead.